What's up, everyone? My name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music as a musician myself. Today is the return of Elden Ring. I think I've only done it once, I'm pretty sure, and it was the main theme. I don't remember if I did it again after that. But we are going to be doing this kind of theme I've been embarking on, which is hearing multiple songs from a game. So we're hearing two completely different songs that apparently have nothing to do with each other. So that is Regal Ancestor Spirit, composed by Yuka Kitamura, and Lichdragon Fortissax, or Lichdragon Fortissax, composed by Yoshimi Kudo. I asked, and apparently they have nothing to do with each other, but I'm trying this whole, hear maybe multiple songs from one game in a single video, just to kind of vary things up and also kind of cut my wait time down. So let's go. This is requested by Happy Bell and Vanadel. We're going to start off with Lichdragon Fortissax. Let me know if I'm saying that right. Let's go. Boss battle, maybe? I never played a FromSoft game, but I'm aware of what they are. Damn, dude. Ooh, the organ. Oh, I thought someone was singing. I will admit, the game itself, I don't really have interest in, but the music is dope. FromSoft music makes me feel like I'm just dying. Scary. Love the organ. It works. Oh, it feels like we're maybe changing to another musical idea. Phase 2, maybe? Doesn't say anything in the video. Actually, instead of death, the way the waves or the cymbals are crashing, it makes it sound like lightning. Stormy, very stormy. No, that actually brings up a question now. I'll ask it later. That's cool. By the sounds of it, it sounds like a pretty big boss, a pretty big deal. It's too epic to be just a little fight. Oh, it's... Well, not yet, not yet. I'll look it up after. I wonder who they hired for the orchestra. So intense. I feel like Monster Hunter and Elden and like FromSoft games have some of the most intense soundtracks in gaming. What sounds more intense? Please let me know. Okay. And now, typically, like, let's assume that you're a new viewer. That would be it, you know, and I would just talk about the song. But now we're going to hear another song that's not related at all. With a different composer. I don't know how many there are. So let's just do that right now. Regal Ancestor. Spirit. Are those little castanets? I'm going to assume when someone sends me Elden Ring music, it's going to be boss music. I don't know if there's any cool music like in the world. This sounds cool though. Okay. We're calm for now. It's so cinematic, dude. You know, a lot of the budget went into the soundtrack. Okay. This is the calmest FromSoft I've heard so far. Was that a didgeridoo? This actually shows the contrast of the soundtrack between the last one and this one. Wow. Did I jinx it? Is this actually like a zone theme or something? Let me know what that is. I think it's didgeridoo though. I like how the things go from left to right and vice versa. This one did the same thing. It stopped and then it moved on. It's building up. Not goosebumps, but like I feel like something. Vibrations. Wow. Dude, again, please let me know what you think of this idea of doing multiple songs. I really need to know from like a bunch of people, so feel free to feedback. But I'm gonna comment on it now because it's like it's cool for two reasons. One, it's cool for many reasons. It saves time, and I get to do more at once. You know, because I have a lot of requests, more than you can imagine. But also, there's times where I've been like, damn, I can't wait to hear this game again. It's going to be, weeks or months. But now I can, like, kind of, loophole that. But also, we get to hear kind of more of the contrast of the soundtrack. Now, I'm not going to go and listen to an entire OST. There's other channels for that. Shout out Dan, I think. But I'm not opposed to, like, trying new things and, whatever I can do to help cut the wait time. But anyways, I'm really glad I did it here because of the amazing contrast between demonic hell and destruction to the sounds of beautiful nature and wind blowing through my hair. So the first one, actually, let me look that up. I was going to do that before I forget. I'm going to look up Lich. Let me know if it's whatever. Lichdragon Fortissax. That's a cool sounding, whatever that is. I don't want to spoil myself. Okay, yeah, that definitely looks like a boss. It's a big, yeah, that's definitely a boss. At least it's got big dragon. Okay. Looks significant too. Now, let me get you up to date to my knowledge of FromSoft. I've never played FromSoft. I'm aware of the games Bloodborne, Souls-like, right? And then, or they're known as Souls-like games, and then Elden Ring. I also watch frequently a streamer, shout out Brian Blitzes, who plays Elden Ring, and it's one of those things where like I'm just always in the chat and just hanging out and talking, but I'm not really like paying attention to the game. But I see the premise, walk around a lot, and you kill stuff. And there's little enemies, there's big enemies, and then there's like pretty decently large enemies. So that gave me the vibe of essentially what I just saw, which is like a big, I wasn't thinking it was like a big dragon or something, but I did think it was like kind of massive. But also it brought up this question that I was going to ask. And are bosses in this game like is it like a predetermined time of day when they happen, or how do I word this? Like, for example, like GTA has like an in-game clock where it's nighttime, daytime, whatever. Does that also happen in Elden Ring, or is it just kind of like one? I never paid attention to that. That's why I'm asking. Like, is it just one part of the day? Because when I heard that, it sounded very much like thunderous nighttime and all that. So it gave me the real sensation of quite literally death. And from the sounds of what I know about Elden Ring, the game is, it's got quite a difficulty curve to it. Things hit hard. So let me know about that. But either way, it really reminded me of some of the stuff I've heard from like Monster Hunter, for example, and it really made me think as I was saying that. I was like, how many soundtracks actually go this intense? People know Elden Ring or Souls-like music for what it is, including myself now. When I heard Ludwig, I was like, oh God, and same with Monster Hunter. But I can't think of anything at the moment, like either what else is up there or what's even surpassed it, because it's really intense. Choirs, everything sounds just terrible as far as mood, which is such a. I'm not really like the biggest fan of ambient style orchestral stuff all the time, of course, because it needs context 100%. But I noticed FromSoft and Monster Hunter really make me kind of second guess that, because even though I don't have context, I still feel feelings. I'm feeling something. I'm not just sitting there blank. It's doing something to me even though I'm not playing the game or seeing it. I'm just seeing this image. So, yeah, let me know about what I'm assuming is this boss fight, because that was monstrous sounding and quite unsettling. Second one, this one's interesting for a couple of reasons. Number one, I've never heard a FromSoft song like that ever. That was the first time. It's calmed down quite a bit, and actually really beautiful. It kind of reminded me of Final Fantasy XI, with the whole nature sounds and the wind and the flutes and the didgeridoo and all these like left to right pan stuff. Really beautiful. And it made me think two things. Both are quite different from each other. One was, I always said I've only heard boss music from these games to my knowledge, and I was told in the comment sections before that there is music in the overworld, but it's not like a big deal. It's kind of just quite literally there. But maybe this is actually what it's like in some places. But the second thing is, this did the same thing where like halfway through the song kind of like stopped and then changed, which now it sounds like a phase. So I could also see this as a boss fight, because not everything, there's no rules that say it has to be bombastic orchestral, madness. I could totally see a boss fight here, just depending on the location. Maybe I can't see what it would look like, but now it really has me thinking like, oh, maybe they can, maybe it's more dynamic than I originally thought. FromSoft games are really interesting for me because also kind of like Monster Hunter. Let me bring up Monster Hunter one more time before I talk about FromSoft stuff. Monster Hunter, when I first started hearing the soundtrack, I kind of didn't care for it, if I'm being honest. It was really, really talented and well written, but I felt the non-presence of context, so I wasn't understanding it too hard. But then later, I started hearing like nothing but good stuff, and now it's been on a roll. And FromSoft has always been kind of one of those games where I have like no interest in playing. I just don't. They don't look appealing to me. And I like boss fights and stuff. It's just, I don't know, I only play games if it calls out to me, and they just don't call out to me. Maybe one day they will, but I'm not opposed to it, but it's just never, as of yet, been like, I want to play one of those. So when I started hearing the music for them, I was like, man, maybe I'm going to have that bias in me that's like, oh, you don't really care for the game, so maybe you won't care for the soundtrack. But I think it's kind of like turning me into a fan, I guess, in my own way. So I can experience it sort of like from afar. Not only do I not have time to play new games all the time, but it's really cool to experience them in this way. And especially to hear two different sides of the coin, where I thought up until now that, or up until a couple minutes ago, that it was like a one-trick pony. And one-trick pony necessarily isn't a bad thing. It's just some games just do one sort of thing and that's it. But clearly not. This song right here was kind of, the answer to that question. So a lot of questions, but I'm interested. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of liking this whole like hearing multiple songs thing. It's I'll tell you why, because for the past 2 years and over 1,000 episodes 1,000 episodes. For the most part, it's just one song per video. So I can really focus on it, you know, because the requester has been waiting and, you know, they deserve their own video. I get that. And the times that I have done multiple, it's because it's the same song and it just like remixes of it or something, or relevant type stuff. But doing it this way is, whether, I'm not sure if it's going to be like a permanent thing or something, because like I said, I try to, I'm very much about the audience, so you guys kind of got to tell me, like, no, this sucks, or, you know, I'll understand. But at the same time, it's kind of like, the pros outweigh the cons. The only con really would be me remembering more, you know. If the songs are too similar, I would have to really kind of cherry pick little things here and there instead of just focusing on one. Either way, that's just for me to worry about. It's not your problem. But please let me know. Anyways, Elden Ring. Really, really cool. There's still many requests for Elden Ring and other Souls-like games. So, great. Thank you, Happy Bell and Vanadel, for the request. That was Regal, Ancestor Spirit, and Lichdragon Fortissax. Let me know if they gave you any troubles, or if this one gave you any trouble. I don't know about the other one. Anyways, and oh yeah, how many composers are there? So there's at least 2 or 3. So anyways, thanks to everyone you see here. My patrons, I cannot be here without them. Thank you to my platinum members who get priority requests in a gigantic list. Thanks to you for watching. My name is Jesse in the auditorium. Later.